I can't really figure out exactly how and why life develops the way it does. It just does. It's true that so much of what turns out does depend on the decisions we make along the way. But those decisions, are they based primarily on experience or intelligence, or just self-inflicted quick responses? Perhaps our decision is always a combination of the two. Just maybe our course is already set before us, and it's left up to us to choose the path along the way to our ultimate fate or destiny. My life decisions to ice skate, to drag out college for ice skating career, to push myself to athletic limits, and then skate professionally. Get married, have children, coach the very top ice athletes in the world, and get involved philanthropically. Get divorced, and even to write this book. Did I actually make the decisions deliberately, or was it all mapped out for me to follow? I will tell you I had no idea of the significance of the events of my life along the way, and I certainly had no idea how important each decision was as it related to my ultimate goals and the eventual outcome of my life. To choose a life path is not complicated as you may think. Take this book, for instance. It's been over 10 years since I started to write it, and originally it was for my eyes only. Now here it is in full view of the whole world. It was not my original goal. It just evolved, and I went with it. Opportunity presented itself, and I made a decision to go for it. I never thought I was smart or mentally equipped to be a scholar, let alone a published author, trying to share my life-learned lessons. What I really want to share with you is everything I've learned through living. Oh, not so much about sports in general, or even figure skating specifically, but about life, about finding out your place in life, and about observations and inspirations that lifted me up along the way. Join me. I'm reading different little sections, so I'm skipping around, sorry. Join me, please, as I take you through the adventure of my life that has been blessed with so many special people, places, and experiences, wonderful rewards and memories made. And hopefully, along the way, you will see part of yourself in me, the struggle, the successes, the failings, but always in the end, dusting yourself off, getting back up, and I call it falling for the win. And then there was you, maybe a fan of my skating in the past, or just an interested new reader in my life. You have been there for me then and now, and I dedicate this book to you. And all that I have been through in the past may help you in your present journey. I also dedicate myself and all that I hope to be moving forward, helping you find your best path in life to reach your potential. Now we jump into a couple chapters. This will make more sense when you read the book. Okay. One big factor stands out after all. The only lessons I ever really learned was when I lost.
Gary, you gotta put the mic.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
I hate standing in front of a mic, but it's okay. I like talking personally, but it's okay. Losing the great, okay, blah, 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 blah. But to wake up and see how you can improve on what has already been top drawer. That's the real lesson. On the ice, as in life, the key factor is putting yourself out there and your talents on the line in competition. That's what creates resiliency, so that you may need that in your life and in your future. Competing in life truly does not yield its own rewards. It's worth every bit of blood, sweat, heartache that it delivers. The investment is you, and in your talents, it's really worth it. Trust me. And as the chapters go on, remember I told you that the book is divided into the 7 decades of my life. So the planning part, the competing part, the fulfillment, which is a completion, and then you start your life all over again. You fall in love, so the loving part. And then sharing. You share your house, your bed, your paycheck, your food. That's very important. And then you teach your family and others, and then you give back. That was a hell of a day on my 16th year. It was the worst moment of my life, the worst day in my life. All over the news that day, and for days to follow, the reports sounded so, I don't know, cold and matter of fact. On February 15, 1961, the U.S. figure skating team went down in a plane crash over Brussels, Belgium. There were no survivors. I was devastated for weeks and months after the crash. I was numb to the reality of what really happened. Dougie was not only my best friend and my skating idol, he was really my friend. It had been my goal to be like him. He was the one I emulated on the ice, the one I looked up to, and the one that I owed so much to for making me feel at home in the skating club and within my own potential and possibilities. We could really relate. He was kind, he was gentle, he was shy and quiet, and we were the same age. As one of the pallbearers at Dougie's funeral, some 5.5 weeks after his death, I remember carrying the coffin, my first time ever, and looking at that big steel box. I was startled to find myself in a conversation with him. Is that really you in there, Dougie? Are all the parts of your body there with you? Damn the plane crash. Throughout my book, I told you I have some sayings, we call them Garyisms, and they're quotes. And that's kind of an Italian thing. I'm very Italian, brought up, everybody was Italian, even the milkman was Italian. So, I'm going to read a couple. To keep the edge, you must stay sharp. All you skaters know that, right? Like these little blades here. Somebody asked me, what are all those little blades and with diamonds and everything? I said, these are the Oscars of ice skating. And I never wear them, ever, because it's like, you're bragging. But my PR lady said, Gary, you have to wear them because people don't get a chance to see them. And I also wore my Olympic ring, and no one gets to see an Olympic ring, so I wore that too, and I never wear that either. But I did today. Okay, onward. I hope it's not too boring, you guys. Where are we? Okay, here we are. I was now on the podium at the World Championships, and the Olympics were only 23 months away. It was all within my reach. What can I expect now? Can I hold on? Can I accept the challenge? After the medal ceremony at the World Championships in the open-air ice arena, the photo opportunities and interviews were on the ice. We had a full afternoon ahead because our event started at 10 a.m. for live ABC coverage in the United States. Remember, this time was 1966, the bitter Cold War, and a unique experience evolved that day. The East German skater, Ralph Bogart, he was a flamboyant, crazy fun guy. His plan was to defect and ask for political asylum in our host country, Switzerland. 4 of us conspired to get him secretly on the last train later that day and get him to the consul office in Geneva. The big challenge was to get Ralph out of sight of his communist chaperones. We managed to do just that by hosting an athletic celebration at the hotel and distracting them so much that they had no idea that he was missing. Before he was missed, and before the gala at the evening night, we had him on the train for freedom. A few years later, Oleg and Ludmila Protopopov made the same decision, defecting from Moscow, and they settled in Switzerland also for over 25 years. They now reside in the United States.